Hi, Bunty. You may want to make me the co-host. Thank you, Kabante.
Everyone, please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. First of all, let me wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. So, this is the Thanksgiving week. So, Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving is a very important festival, and a very important festival that we celebrate in not only United States and at the same time, so in Europe too, right? So, do they celebrate it in Europe? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, right. So somehow it's a wonderful practice, gratitude. So on the Thanksgiving Day, so we practice one great positive emotion among us. So that is gratitude. As a human being, if you want to develop in life, you need gratitude. So towards your parents, you need gratitude. If you towards your teachers, then towards your relatives, towards your friends, for whatever the big thing or minor thing that they do, better to have gratitude. That's how you develop in life. So if we become selfish, if we ignore, if we take the other people's help, but if we don't become grateful, what happens is that person's life won't improve, won't develop. One Arabic poet says, "Garib alnas, garib al dunya diye, mafi shakhses, mafi shwala sikr diye, past illness beat gara laiye." So law kuntu muntakur lium hiluaishne fikidema ulye setr mifishk defil thaya. Don't worry, I will translate. Garib alness. So the world is cruel, right? Garib al dunya di. Whatever world is cruel because so whatever we do to the other people, so most of them, they turn all those here sour on us, right? So that poet says, I did my part and I leave. Whatever the other people do or not do, that's their case. So it is not easy for a person to even to do a small thing. You have to dedicate your energy. So when you have to do something for someone else, you have to dedicate energy, right? So even to pick up a drop of needle, it's not heavy, but it takes energy. You have to spend energy. So just like that, so whatever the big or small thing that they do, so they have to spend energy. So as nice people and wise people, so you have to practice gratitude. Sometimes the animals, they have gratitude sometimes more than human beings. So let me tell you a story, not during these times. So I'm talking about the Nero's time. Have you heard of Nero? Emperor Nero. Some people say that he was playing the violin while the Rome was on fire. That's very false. So it's a big myth, but that's a different story. That Nero, I'm talking about that Nero. So during that time there was a sport. So that sport is a lion. So a lion was sent to fight with the slave. So they have fights, and then during that time, they catch slaves from the opposite. From their enemies. So there are armies that fight against them. So they catch the other people, the rest of the surrendered soldiers, as slaves. So one day, such kind of a lion was sent to fight with a slave. The lion, it was hungry for many days, so that's how they kept. And then it was sent to fight with that slave. So that lion, whenever the cage was open, the door of the cage open, it sprang and ran towards that person, that slave, to catch and tear and eat it because it's hungry. Then at that time, when it was approaching, everybody noticed its demeanor completely changed. It stopped, and it was just like a child. At once, it went towards that slave and started licking his feet instead of fighting. Even the slave, he couldn't understand what's happening. So, then he suddenly remembered something. And at the same time, the king was astonished, the emperor was astonished by this sudden incident. He has never seen such kind of a thing. He asked, what happened? Why this lion is not eating you? What is your secret charm? He thought this slave might have a charm. Then this slave replied, so actually I don't have such kind of charm. When this lion was little, I think, according to my memory, I was going through a jungle. And then, it was little, and it has eaten something, some kind of a flesh, and its bone was stuck inside this little lion's throat. So it was suffering from that. And then he checked whether the mother lion is around or not. Then when it found out that she is not around, he went to this small lion, baby lion, and he took it out. And then he went. But the lion remembered his face throughout its life. So now they met coincidentally at this arena. Now it cannot kill. It is so grateful for helping it. So it cannot kill this slave. Instead, it came to him and showed gratitude by licking his leg. The emperor released both the lion, who knew the gratitude, and at the same time, this awesome slave. Both, they were friends. So, yeah, so we have to be grateful. So yesterday was a wonderful day, and this week is a wonderful week because we practice gratitude. At the same time, if you don't practice gratitude too, disaster comes upon you. Yes. let me go. That's from Nero's time. Let me go to the Buddhist time. So this is a fable which was told by the Buddha. So in this fable, there was one husband, wife, and 2 daughters at one family. So this village situated closer to Himalayas. That means Everest Mountain. So they lived well. Suddenly, the husband died. Then he died, and because of his strong attachment towards his family, it says that he was born as a golden swan. Because of his good karma, he was born as a golden swan. But at the same time, because of the attachment, it was golden because of his good karma. But because of the attachment, because of greed, it became a swan. So now this swan could remember the past lives, and it could remind the family that he was that he lived along before. And then what it did, so it thought of them, and so it went to that home, and so once a month it dropped one golden feather at their garden. So those the family members, 3 family members, both daughters and the wife, what they did, they collected this strange, beautiful golden feather and sold it. And that's how they survived throughout the month. Every month this was happening. And one day, this lady, his former wife, became very selfish. She thought, oh, what happened if it doesn't come? Then we have to stay hungry. So we should take all the feathers at once. Somehow we have to catch it and take all the feathers at once, and we should become rich, and we should start a business, big business. Thinking so, somehow she caught this golden swan and took all the feathers out, forcibly. And then it says all those feathers became just white, not golden. And finally, the golden swan, it was in pain, but it roamed here and there until it grows its feathers, and finally it flew away, determining that it won't come again at all. So sometimes it's like that. It's a fable, but things are like that. So when you are overpowered with greed, when you are overpowered with anger, when you are overpowered with fear, when you are overpowered with delusion, what happens? You become very ungrateful. So you have to be aware of that too. So you have to practice gratefulness when you are practicing the Dhamma path. So, and at the same time, you should not let your gratitude to go away because of those negativities, because of the power of those negativities. Even though greed comes, you should hold on to gratitude. Hold on to your gratitude. Fear, anger, hatred, jealousy, whatever it comes, you should stay strong with your gratitude, right? Sometimes even the children forget this. That's why sometimes you hear the news that children have killed the parents for certain kind of stuff, right? So so not only for Thanksgiving Day, throughout the life, please practice gratitude. Okay. With that thought, we are going to start. So as usual, we are going to practice loving kindness meditation. So I hope that you remember the sentences now, right? So please start spreading loving kindness first of all towards yourself, because in this whole world you love yourself more than anybody else, right? And then after spreading loving kindness towards yourself, please spread it towards your parents. And then after that, please spread that loving kindness towards your teachers. Then after that, your relatives. Then after that, your friends. So first of all, you, then parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. After that, the people who are at the center, that means in the middle, those who are not your friends, not your enemies, right? The neutral people. After the neutral people, the enemies. After the enemies, all the beings in the world, right? So first of all, you, then parents, then teachers, relatives, friends. Okay. Then after that, neutral people, enemies, and all the beings. Right. All the beings means the beings so who are non-human too, right? Fish, birds, and all such kind of beings. We think of all of them, right? And please spread loving kindness like this. First of all, please think, so may I be free from anger and hatred. Then after that, spread loving kindness, saying, may I be free from ill will and jealousy. Then may I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. May I take care of myself happily. Then after that, so spread loving kindness, saying, may I be full of love, compassion, good health, safety, and peace. Right. And then after that, may I live with comfort and ease. May I live with comfort and ease. And finally, may I attain ultimate peace, Nibbana. Right? If you cannot remember the last sentences, if they are very long, please think, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, and may I attain real peace, Nibbana. Right? So please do like that. And then towards your parents, teachers, relatives, and friends, neutral people, and then enemies, and all the beings. Right? Okay, now please keep your back straight. Neck straight and head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm and let your whole body to calm down. Pay your attention towards your breath for a while. Let me pay our respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha first, out of gratitude. Then after that, we will start today's silent meditation together. Please concentrate. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itimeso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho viññācarane sampanno sugato lokamino Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Sattaneva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Suakato Bhagavatanang Mu Sangnitiko Akaliko Ehi Pasiko Opanaiko Pachatang Veditammo Vignyohiti Supanipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujupanipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sami ke Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yugani Ate Purisa Pungala Ese Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anutterang Punyaketang Lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, attentive, and balanced mind, with a mind full of love and full of compassion, full of love and full of compassion. Everyone, please start your loving kindness meditation. Start spreading loving kindness towards you first of all, and then gradually from group to group, keep on spreading loving kindness group by group. And may your loving kindness meditation become very, very successful. Very, very successful. Everyone, please start your loving kindness meditation. Bhavetu sambe mangalam rakhantu sambe devatam sabbe buddhanubhavine sada sutti bhavantu te. Bhavetu sambe mangalam rakhantu sambe devatam sabbe dhammanubhavine sada sutti bhavantu te. Bhavetu sambe mangalam rakhantu sambe devatam sabbe sanghanubhavine sada sutti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now everyone very calmly and quietly, please open your eyes. Now let your whole body to relax. And please say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. So, hope so you feel so much soothed when you practice loving kindness. So, more than the practice of breathing meditation, more than the practice of vipassana meditation, when we practice loving kindness meditation, we soothe, we feel soothing within. So, it's a way of spiritually healing yourself. So nobody else has to come and heal yourself. You are healing your own body and mind when you practice this wonderful meditation technique. So that, and at the same time, please practice those practical practices that I ask you to do. So whenever you hear a sound of an ambulance, or whenever you see a poor person, so on the road, or a person who is facing difficult, when you heard about a person who is facing difficulties in life, so please spread loving kindness. Don't think that they don't work. They work, but you can't see. So let's say someone says something nice to you. Let's say, let's say someone says, you are so nice. What happens when we hear those words? We feel so happy, so joyful. So let's say someone says, you're very bad. What happens? The whole body feels very bad sensation. You feel uncomfortable. So, like that. So word is a gross thing, but mind is more powerful than words. So sometimes some people feel by your demeanor. So they feel about your emotions. Let's say you smile towards the other person. So you don't have to talk, you just smile. Then the other person feels comfortable. The other person feels joy, right? The other person feels welcome. So don't think that they don't matter. they always matter. So whenever you hear about such kind of a person who is suffering, please spread your loving kindness, right? Please think, may that particular person, you no need to know the name. So may that particular person be well, be happy, be peaceful, right? And at the same time, let's say someone did something bad towards you. At such times too, so no use of uh, no use of developing grudges towards that person. Yes, our nature is developing grudges, but we need to understand we do though so because of our own ignorance. People have negativities; they work on their negativity. So, so since you are practicing meditation, you are a little bit better. But there are so many people who don't do that and who still cling to. They are all habitual patterns. So whenever they feel comfortable, they develop greed, they want it again and again. And when they feel something uncomfortable, then they hate it. But you are, so through breathing meditation, through vipassana meditation, some of you have developed the ability to come out of it little bit. So some of you were practicing for some time, and you could, through breathing meditation, at least you could concentrate a little bit more, and you can hang on. But all are not like that. So there are so many people who work, who are slaves of their own negative emotions. So at such times, just do what you can do to manage the situation, but don't keep the grudges. Instead, wish, may this person also change. May this person also be well. May this person also be happy. May this person also be peaceful. So, like that, so praise practice, it is good for you. So, first of all, it's good for you. Then it's good for the other person, right? So, when you have grudges, when you have anger towards the other people, you are just like a person who has a burning charcoal on one's hand, right? So you wait until your enemy comes, right? Enemy might come in 10 minutes, maybe sometimes maybe 1 day later, 10 days later, 10 months later, or many years later. Until then, you have to hang on to that burning charcoal. When you hang on to that burning charcoal, the more you hang on, the more you suffer, right? But whenever you throw away that burning charcoal, so you are not suffering. So you are at peace. You are at peace, right? So sometimes since we are slaves of our own negativities, we don't like it. We like to keep the burning charcoal on our hand. We don't want to let it go. You'll say it's easy to say, but hard to do. That's what people always say. But you should understand. You don't have a long life, 100 years to live. You have only a very small lifetime to live. Most of you have at least spent 20 out of that. So at least 20, 25 years have already gone. How much more time do you have? Maybe let's say 40 years or 50 years. Among them, half of the years, that means 20 years, if you have 40, let's say, suppose, 20 years you sleep. You don't know nothing, you just sleep. And then the other 20 years, you, most of the time, the more you keep on hanging to that grudge, you are going to waste as much as time possible from the remaining time. Life is very short. It is not to waste hanging on to grudges. So it is to live with peace, live with compassion, live with happiness, and live with the wisdom, right? If you can, you will try your hard to attain the real peace, real happiness, nibbana. But if you cannot, you try to live your life with peace, compassion, love, and happiness as much as time that you can give, right? So that will be a beautiful life. But most of the people, they just won't waste it. They say, oh no, I can't do that. This is my nature. So it's easy to say no than doing. So they keep on holding to that burning charcoal. You suffer. You are suffering. You are going to suffer. So you can bring this theory and that theory, but you are going to suffer. That's 100% true. Do you want to get rid of it? Right. Then start practicing to let it go. You can and at the same time understand loving kindness practice is not a word game. So it is a practice that you should do with emotions. So it is not like breathing meditation. It is not like vipassana meditation. It is totally different from both those techniques. You go with your emotions. So even though you use these words saying, may I be so for an example, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful. So they should not be just words. They should come along with emotions. Words are not important. Emotions are the most important thing, right? So please do like that. And whenever you use those terms, those words, spread the emotion, not the words. So let the words go. You can throw it to the trash, but emotion is the most important, right? So yeah. So um, make sure that you do that, right? So last week I told you about the benefits of loving kindness meditation. Hope you remember, right? So I told you that according to Buddha, there are 11 benefits that we can gain by practicing loving kindness meditation. I want to hear at least uh, one or two, and then after that we are going to talk about the next one in brief. Okay, one benefit that you can gain from by practicing loving kindness meditation.
Release this anger, like release our anger, our self-pitiness, bitterness, in order to obtain.
That's what happens when you practice loving kindness meditation. I'm talking about the 11 consequences that you gain, good results that we gain by practicing loving kindness meditation. Keenan?
One of them was beautiful face.
Very nice. Yes. That's number one. So you will have a beautiful face. Yes. Another one. All right. Very good, Balaji. Good sleep. You can sleep well. So, Ardita?
More success.
So, get wealth. Right. Yeah, that's true. But not included in 11 benefits of loving kindness meditation.
Die peacefully.
Right. How did it did I explain it? Mr. Juan, can you remember?
Die peacefully.
All right, it's his own life. Right. Okay. So number one, please remind. You sleep well, you wake up well. So two. Yeah, you sleep well, and then you wake up well too, right? Then you won't dream bad dreams, right? You won't encounter bad dreams. Number three. Then number 4, so then you become pleasant for human beings. When human beings see you, so they like you. Then you become pleasant for deities, that means gods. So yeah, the other spirits, not only gods, all kinds of other beings too. Don't worry. They are not going, the bad spirits, they are not going, they will like you, but they are not going to harm you, right? So equally, all of them, they like you. And then so then the deities protect you. So good spirits, they protect you. Even bad spirits sometimes may not harm you. That's a protection. And then then you won't die. So because of various kinds of accidents, like because of fire, so free fire insurance. Okay, let it go. So you won't die because of fire. So because of poison, because of so weapons, right? Then so then your mind becomes concentrated, becomes peaceful, faster, very fast, right? Then the face, the color of the face becomes so beautiful, right? And then then when you die very peaceful. And after the death, if you practice loving kindness to the jhanic, for jhanic levels, as I explained, then you will be born in Brahma realm. Brahma realm means it's a higher, so certain kind of higher beings. So like very light beings, very higher beings. So you will be born among them, right? But if you have to, for that, you have to develop it to the jhanic levels, okay? Right, these are the 11 benefits. So 10 of them you gain in this life, one after this life. So some of you might not, so since you have not seen, you might think, oh, there is no next life. That's fine, let it go. At least you will have a wonderful life here. So for that, please practice. So that's good for you. So these are the 11 benefits. So every day, morning, evening, don't forget to practice loving kindness meditation. So throughout the 15 minutes, right? So that you practice. Today, I'm going to teach you about the seventh perfection. The seventh perfection, we call it Aditya. I taught you the perfections. So Dana means generosity. You have to practice as Vipassana meditators. As meditators, we have to practice these perfections within. So number 1, Dana, so generosity. So number 2, Sila, moral qualities. Nekkhamma, so renunciation, right? Then Panya, wisdom. Number 5, Virya. Virya means, can you remember that? Energy. Very nice. So then after that, number 6, Kanti. Kanti means patience. I taught that too. So then today, Aditthana. Aditthana. So Aditthana means determination. Many people don't have that. They start, some people start, some people even don't have the courage to start. Among them, only a few people who are lucky, who have enough emotions to start, but they fall down, they let go at the very starting point sometimes. Among them, only a small percentage continue for some time, right? So they also continue for some time and then they break down. And then, so the people, those who reach their goal at the end, who continue until they reach their goal, are a very small percentage among the second group too. So, so there are three kinds of courages that we need to develop: starting, continuing, and the courage of finishing, right? But unfortunately, many people have the first one and the second one, not the third one, right? So determination is important when we go to a certain goal. Let it be a spiritual goal, let it be a material goal. When we practice, so we need to have it established. We have to establish it. So even the Buddha, when he sat under the Bodh tree of Bodh Gaya, he had a strong determination. So we call it, in Pali, we call it Mahaditthana. That means in English we can translate it as the determination, the great. Okay. So Buddha determined that on a full moon day of May, he determined that he won't stand up so he won't stand up until he won't stand up from his meditation until he attained Nibbana, he attained enlightenment. So he determined that even though his skin dries away, even though his flesh, his whole flesh, it dries away, and even though his bones and bone marrows burst away, he is not going to stand up. He will stay and keep on practicing. So he practiced, and with that strong determination, and attained enlightenment on the following day morning, right? So we have to understand, we don't have that kind of a determination. So Buddha had a jet, and you even don't have a bicycle. So you are just walking, but gradually. So with small determinations, you have to improve, right? Rome was not built within a day, right? We learned that. So gradually. So, and when it walks, it sometimes walks thousands of miles. How? It keeps on going. So its steps are very tiny, but it keeps on going. We should be the same. When we started, we should not look back. We should keep on going, keep on practicing for the benefit of yourself, right? Then for the benefit of others. Later on, the other people also benefit because of your practice. But first, you are the one who will get the benefit. So when you practice, you should have the determination. So throughout these meditation sessions, I have seen some people start their meditation practice on January. Then they come on January, they come on February and vanish. And some of them, they come until April, and then hard practice starts, Vipassana. Then they come from May, then they come from June, and then July, they disappear. So then only a few people have the courage, determination to go on and practice until December. So that's how it is. Somehow, in life, please start your determination with small things, small wholesome things. Determine just like this. Whatever it happens, I'm not going to talk vulgar words. Whatever it happens, I'm not going to curse. Whatever it happens, I'm not going to practice separative speech. Separative speech, I explained to you. So there are two friends. You use your words to separate them. You hear to this person and goes and tell to this person with the intention to separate them, and you hear the reply and go back and you tell this person to separate them. So separative speech. You determine
A better word is divisive.
divisive. Yes. Divisive speech.
Divisive.
Division. Yeah. Divisive speech. So then you determine like that. Then whatever it happens, you determine you are not going to lie. Whatever it happens, you should determine, I'm not going to harm the other people. Right? Sometimes you have to debate or argue, but still you should determine whatever it happens, I'm not going to go physical. It's maybe self-defense, but that is also with compassion, right? So, but you determine you are not going to harm anyone physically. And whatever it happens, you are not going to do adult. So you determine. And whatever it happens, you are not going to take intoxicants. So you determine. And whatever it happens, you are not going to steal, right? So you determine. Like that, small determine. These are not small actually, but try to maintain these kinds of determinations in life and begin. Then gradually this determination, we need to, then we need to develop it to a level. First of all, the determination we should develop it to a level that even though the outer stuff, material things go away, your determination should stay, but without shaking. Right? So it should stay firm, even though you lose external things, material things. And then develop that determination to a greater level, to the second level of determination. So it is second level of great determination is, so even though parts of your body goes away, you stay with the determination and you won't let it go, right? That is the second level of determination. And the highest level, when it comes to the perfect level of determination, when it becomes a perfection of determination, even though your life, you stay with the determination and you won't change, right? Even though your life goes. These are the three stages of determination that we need to practice. So start with small steps and try to develop, right? Start with small policies and try to develop it further, right? And then, so to develop determination, perfection of determination, so there are several things that will help. Number one, think what happened to your friends and relatives who didn't have determination, how they failed in life. So think about those. Then when you think about them, you feel sorry, at the same time it becomes a life lesson. You see the consequences of not having determination. So you determine, even though they did so, I'm not going to let go. I will stay with my determination, right? So then number two, think how people achieved goals when they stayed with the determination, right? So sometimes there are people who achieved success, material success. So they were rejected many times, but they didn't give up. They kept on going after their goal. And finally, since they worked with determination, they reached whatever the stage, whatever the level that they wanted to achieve, right? So it is the same with spiritual goals. So if you develop determination, you can get there, but you should have the determination with you. So thinking about them, those successful people, you should see the good consequences of determination. So when you think like that, so you gain the energy, motivation to stay with the determination. So whenever you see the good side of determination, good effects of determination, you develop the courage to stay with your determination. Okay. And then number 3, so think about the people who read great levels because they had a great determination. So then be fans of them and keep on practicing. So so when I wanted to become a monk when I was 8, so when my grandpa passed away, I wanted to become a monk. Then when I told my parents, they said, so but I'm talking, so stay home and eat what we give and don't talk like that. So when I was 9, I asked the same. I requested them to let me become a monk. And then again they refused. When I was 10, when I was 11, I asked, same thing happened. When I was 12, I took a strong determination, I was firm in my determination, and I told them, whatever it happens, I'm not eating, I'm not drinking, I'm not going to school, let me go. So that is the time how I became, they permitted me to become monk. That is also after 3 days of fasting. Actually, I didn't fast. That's a separate story. So I pretended to be fasting. So somehow, determination can bring, so that's for an example. So determination can help you to reach goals. Let it be material, let it be spiritual, it can. So develop the determination with it. So spiritual determination is worth. Why? Because it helps you to come out of your negativities, and it helps you to develop all kinds of positivity. Practicing so, it helps you to attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. So keep on developing the perfection of determination. Right? Now everyone please think. So after the Thanksgiving Day, so on this Friday, all of us got together and practice this wonderful, beautiful, loving kindness meditation and accumulated a lot of positive energy. Let's share this positive energy with all of us. By the power of this positive energy, let's wish. May all our troubles be away. May all the good things happen in our lives. Practicing this noble non-sectarian practice, may all of us attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, everyone, please concentrate. Abhivadana selese nichang baddha pachaino Chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvang no sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vache ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjato. May you all be well. May you all be happy. May you all be very, very peaceful. Good night to everyone. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night and see you all in the next week. Sukhi.
Kyoto.
Good night, Mr. Huad.
Thank you, Bante. Good night to you.
Good night.